Hey, I'm Logan.
Hey, Logan. I'm Alyssa. How did you get here?
How did I get here?
Yeah, I was just recording my podcast and now you're suddenly here.
Oh.
I'm alone in my apartment and now you're suddenly here recording a podcast with me.
It's weird. Just a second ago, I was alone in my apartment. And now we're here together.
Ooh, that's a little weird.
All right. Well, this is an episode of The Marketer's Cut, Take 13. This is the podcast where we talk about movie marketing, both the real things that movies did to market themselves, and also the things that we would do to market them better or worse.
That's not what I talk about on my podcast.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. I don't even want to know what you talk about in your podcast. So this week we are doing 2 movies. Do you want to announce what they are, Alyssa?
I was going to talk about how to make macaroni.
Okay, well...
What movies I guess I'll talk about whatever movies you were going to talk about in your podcast. What were the movies?
Okay, the movies were Wolfwalkers, the newest and only animated film released on Apple TV+.
Wow, I just saw that this weekend. That's weird.
Oh, wow. Who'd you watch it with?
I thought alone in my apartment, but
Okay.
I don't know. My dog.
And we're also going to be talking about Pixar's Brave, the 2012 movie starring Merida, the Scottish princess.
I have also seen that.
A while ago, though.
Yeah, but good thing because I guess I'm on this podcast now.
Yeah, I'm really glad that my current fiance is on this podcast and we're talking about Brave because I did go on a date to see Brave with somebody when it came out in summer of 2012.
Wow.
So I'd like to know what you think about that.
No. I don't know who you are, so.
Oh, you don't know who I am? Okay.
No.
Well, let's hop into Wolfwalkers and talk about that movie. So, Wolfwalkers is a hand-drawn animated film directed by Tom Moore and Ross Stewart. Here's a synopsis from IMDb. A young apprentice hunter and her father journey to Ireland to help wipe out the last wolf pack. But everything changes when she befriends a free-spirited girl from a mysterious tribe rumored to transform into wolves by night.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, was it interesting?
It was very interesting, and I think that's a pretty good synopsis.
Was the movie interesting?
Well, yeah, I'm saying that the movie is interesting, and that was a good synopsis.
It does lay it out a lot better than some of these other synopses. Synopsises.
Made that up.
Okay. That we read on the show, kind of. It's better than other ones we've read. So this movie came out on December 11th, 2020 on Apple TV+. And kind of like I mentioned earlier, it's the first animated film to be produced and released on Apple TV+. It's a weird first animated film.
I also think it's a weird first one, but it was a good choice.
Yeah, and it's a great movie. And we'll talk a little bit later about why it's an odd first choice on your relatively new streaming service and everything. But yeah, this movie also had a world premiere at the 2020 Toronto International Film Festival on September 12th. And, because of coronavirus, that was a digital festival.
We should have went.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
It was around the time of Chicago, which is when we watched One Night in Miami at the Chicago International Film Festival.
That's true. That is very true.
Couldn't find any info on the budget. I saw one article. I'm not really sure how reliable it was. It said it was about $20 million, but I would assume it's a bit more. This movie was in the works for 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. You can tell a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into a movie like this when you look at the level of detail and just how impressive the animation is. Mm-hmm. So Rotten Tomatoes critic score is 99%.
Woo!
Really good. Audience score is even better at 100%.
Woo!
To be fair, not trying to take away anything from it, there's less than 50 audience ratings, which is a very small amount. We could go swing that to 97 right now if we wanted to, maybe.
It's not as good as Paddington, but it'll do.
But yeah, that's kind of part of the weird first animated film to be released on Apple TV Plus thing is because while this movie is great and beautifully animated and beautifully done, audiences have a weird aversion to any sort of animation that's not like that
3D,
semi-realistic, like Pixar,
Disney.
DreamWorks, Disney Animation, Epic, like those no, Epic's the name of the movie. Blue Sky, those studios and everything. And like you see this a lot with Leica Studios, who did like Paranorman and Kubo and the Two Strings, Box Trolls. Like their movies never perform as well as I think they should, because the stop motion like puts people off. So this is another thing where I think people look at this and they say like, oh, I don't want to watch a movie. I can't watch an hour and 40 minutes of that. Which, like, if you're saying that,
Guess what, dummies? It was amazing, and you're missing out. It looks like a freaking storybook moving on TV.
That is very true. So yeah, when you see like the audience ratings, there's under 50. That's hardly anything on Rotten Tomatoes. And I looked at Google Trends just to kind of compare this to another animated film that came out around the same time, which was Soul, which came out on December 25th, that we talked about in one of our previous episodes. And this movie looks like it had nobody talking about it compared to Soul, which is kind of true. This movie didn't get a lot of buzz. I saw people on my Twitter feed talking about it, but I follow critics and people who like seek out this sort of stuff. But I guess the fact that like it's not the kind of movie that people seek out, and it's also on one of the like less popular streaming services. It's just not a good situation for it.
Yeah, I think it would have done better if it was on like Disney Plus, maybe even Netflix. I think people would have been like, "Oh yeah, what's this?" And
I mean, yeah, the movie itself would have had a better shot for sure. And I'm not sure how much Apple TV even put into it. Like, how much time did they spend marketing? How much money did they put like behind this movie? And is this even the kind of movie that if you put a lot of money behind it, like it can succeed? Because like audiences have just sort of moved on from the style of animation.
That's true.
Which is kind of sad. So anyways, though, this is a culmination of a loose trilogy of films by the same studio, a film called The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea is the other one. Both of those were nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards. They did not win. I know Song of the Sea lost to probably a Pixar movie. It was 2014. No, 2014 was Frozen? I don't know. It was, they both lost. And it's kind of common knowledge that, like, the Academy Awards voters, when it comes to the Best Animated Feature, they sort of just vote for what they know. Like, what they took their kid to see. And what their kid has watched a lot around them. Like, they don't take it that seriously. So it's typically whatever the most popular animated movie is. So if a Pixar movie is nominated, it almost always wins. If it's not Pixar, it's Frozen or something like that winning this category. I'm hoping that this year Wolfwalkers gets nominated. And just given the climate around like movie releases this year, I think its only real competition is going to be Soul.
I think so too.
And Soul may very well win. That's very possible. But I feel like if a film like this has a shot at the Oscars, like this is the best kind of year.
I agree. I hope. I mean, I enjoyed Soul, but I think this. Yeah, you can see the work that went into this, and I think it deserves a win.
I agree. So another thing here is, I don't know why I thought I'd be able to do this.
Yeah, I could have told you.
I'm eating candy now, and it takes too long to chew between the time that you talk.
Again, I could have told you this.
I'm leaving this in so people can know how much of an idiot I am.
We're not going to have time for this.
Okay, I'm moving on. So this film does have an original song in it. Sorry. It's not an original song. It's a new version of an already released song by the Norwegian singer-songwriter
Say it.
Aurora.
Good job.
It's a song called Running with the Wolves. And it's a pretty dope song. It's pretty cool in the movie.
It was a pretty dope song.
It was featured in the trailer too. It's very fitting for this movie. So I'm glad they got like their own version of it, and I was in here. And anytime a movie has like a song like this so that they can kind of market with and off of, I think that's a strong asset to use and stuff. So that's pretty, in my own words, dope.
Cool.
Let's talk about the trailer and poster. We kind of just talked about the trailer with that song, but what do you think of the trailer overall?
Trailer's pretty cool. I liked it.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's all I ever say, and I don't really feel like I have anything good to ever add to it. So I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet.
Okay, here's what I really like about this trailer.
Okay.
Is it felt different from other trailers, and I know like in other like, 3D animated things, like those movies take a lot of work and everything. Um, so it's not like the shots are just throwaways, but I know in some movies like there's a level of care that goes into some shots in the movie. There's a minimum level of care that goes into every single shot, but some shots get like more of that level of care. And a lot of times in trailers, like they will show a lot of those more impressive shots and everything, but to like fill in like story gaps and everything, they also throw in like the pickup shots, the throwaway shots, that aren't as interesting, I guess. So you kind of have like ups and downs in the trailer, which can be it's not an inherently bad thing, but because of the like the level of detail in every single frame or shot of this movie, you feel that in the trailer. Like every frame feels like it just whacks you with how impressive it is.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So I'm watching this trailer. I'm just like, wow, 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 wow. That looks so cool. Again, if you're averse to that sort of animation, it does the exact opposite. It constantly beats you over the head with how it's not your kind of thing. So maybe it's not. It's hard to pick who to market this movie to. So maybe it's not the best thing. But that's kind of my impression I got from it. And of course, the song over it was really cool. So sort of a similar thing with the poster, I think, is that
Poster is so dope.
yeah, the art's amazing. The text on it says, "Be fierce, be wild, be free."
The font is like A plus. I mean, it matches like the storybook style. I mean, it's like perfect. They really got it. It also has like an Art Nouveau feel to it, with like the moon. How that is. It's like a very common Art Nouveau.
That's true, which is a weird thing for like the Scottish sort of Irish. I don't know which one it is, but kind of lore of this movie. It's kind of a weird choice, but it does look really cool.
I agree, but yeah, I like it. It adds. I don't know. Femininity is not exactly what I want to say, but I feel like it adds to the kind of curves of the leaves and things like that. It enhances the nature feel. I mean, Art Nouveau was kind of about nature.
Do you know anything about the history of Art Nouveau? Did it have any sort of like, Irish or Scottish like roots, influences?
I did know about it a while ago, but not enough to tell you much about it now.
Cool.
But I know that like the theme was like, nature and stuff like that. And I definitely, again, get that from this.
No, I feel you. No, it's a very beautiful poster. So we've kind of laid out what the problem with this movie is, and it's that people are averse to this sort of animation. No matter how cool it may look, frame by frame, people don't like seeing it in motion. And also, it's on Apple TV Plus, and it is part of a trilogy. But the other films have the same issues. They're beautifully animated, but they weren't super popular. So, what would you do to get your average Joe, or Joanne, or Joanne?
I just don't know. I mean, maybe some people care about Apple TV Plus. I don't. I care about Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix. Mainly Netflix and Disney because it's Disney. Obviously, this is a Disney movie. But I don't know how Over the Moon did. We obviously have not seen that. But I feel like it would have done something closer to Over the Moon. And I mean, people were talking about that.
So I get what you're saying. I don't want to go the direction of put this on a different platform because this movie was picked up by Apple TV and like distributed by Apple TV Plus. It's like this is the platform it gets. So I guess my question is like, if you don't care about Apple TV, then if you are Apple TV Plus, how do you get people to care about you and the cool films you're releasing on it? What do you do?
I don't know. What do people like in a trailer? Maybe some spooky stuff. I know people who are into spooky things. And maybe like, hey, look at all these funny parts of this movie. This is like a funny, cool movie.
Yeah, the trailer, it had some of those like jokes, I guess, but not as heavy as a lot of kids' movies do in the trailers.
Mm-hmm. So maybe some moments like that, maybe more heartfelt moments. People also love that. And you know what else would be cool is like I mean, again, maybe other people don't care about this, but like kind of showing like the drawing of these characters. I don't know, like some kind of like animated thing, like look at this character come to life.
You see, when you say like that'd be cool, but people don't care about it. I agree that people don't care about it because
Yeah.
like it does that stuff all the time, all the behind the scenes shots and how they make their movies, and people still don't flock to theaters for this.
I know, but it's so cool whenever
so
they
cool.
do it.
I think something that Apple TV Plus could have done to help this one out is maybe sort of find well-known similar media and like shell out the money to get it on your service if you can. And like I don't know what that is. I mean, Brave obviously is stuck on Disney Plus, so they can't go out and pick up Brave. But I think it has a strong possibility to be like, hey, you really like this, so why don't you check out Wolfwalkers? But you got to figure out what this is.
Yeah. And after watching Brave, I realized how similar they kind of are. And I didn't really know that going in the
Similar
Wolfwalkers.
themes, I think. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is great because we knew what Wolfwalkers was, but I didn't know it connected that deeply to Brave. Well, I mean, I think that what you do is you do Temple Run. But Wolfwalkers, like kid games, kids love. They're on their.
Why Temple Run?
They're on their.
Wait, why Temple Run?
Well, like Subway Surfer, or like there's the Minion game I played a lot, and it's like Subway Surfer.
Okay.
And you do Wolfwalkers, and you know what Apple does? They just download on everyone's fucking Apple shit.
They do the U2 shit.
They do U2 shit right on here, and they're like.
Honestly, they should have done that with this movie. A U2 album was like what, 100 megabytes or some shit like that. Throw a 2 gigabyte film on everyone's phone.
Okay, people would be very mad about that.
It's like in Popstar when they put his album on the fridge and the toasters and stuff.
So what I'm saying is you just put it on there, your kid sees it, and they're like, what's this? And then you find out, and then you finish the level, and it says, hey, watch this movie on Apple TV Plus. And the kids were like, Mom, you gotta do it.
Okay. I have an idea for something that could be fun.
Okay.
So, I think there's a lot of press around this movie that talked about how it's kind of like the end to a loose trilogy of The Secret of the Kells and Song of the Sea. People don't know what those movies are. And I'm sure they're great, and I actually really want to watch them with you because this was really cool. But people don't know what they are. So forget them. Say, this is the ending to the 2020 Wolf trilogy, all right?
Okay.
The first one in that trilogy is Eurovision that had the really cool wolf song in it on Netflix.
Okay.
That's the first entry. The second entry is the really popular TikTok sound where people are doing the wolves running thing. And then you finish it off with Wolfwalkers. And then you maybe throw like a TikTok thing out there with the Running with the Wolves song from this movie.
I think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least I got my terrible one out of the way early this episode.
Okay, let's see how the rest go.
Do you want to keep talking about Wolfwalkers, or do you want to go into Brave?
I have one more idea.
Okay, then we'll go into Brave. Brave has a lot, so let's...
Okay, so you're out and you see wolves. Okay.
Just randomly? You just randomly see some...
Yes.
Okay.
You see the wolves and you think they're going to chase you, but they don't. They're very nice. But then you see people, and these people, you're scared that you're going to have to run from the wolves, but you actually don't. But then these people are chasing you, and now you're being chased by the people, and the wolves are following you. And then at the end it goes, haha, gotcha, watch Wolfwalkers.
I don't understand how you work.
You're welcome.
Is this like a thing people go to, or do you just randomly...
just randomly have... I mean,
people
you're
walking down the
terrified. You think you're going to die.
That doesn't seem like the right vibe for this movie.
Well, it was a little scary, and I was scared during this movie. So, let's scare him. Let's talk about Brave now.
Okay. So Brave. Brave is a 2012 movie released by Disney/Pixar. It's directed by Brenda Chapman and Mark Andrews. The "and" there's a little weird. Maybe Brenda Chapman or Mark Andrews is the better way to phrase it. I'll get into it in a second. So here's the synopsis from IMDb. Determined to make her own path in life, Princess Merida defies a custom that brings chaos to her kingdom. Granted one wish, Merida must rely on her bravery and her archery skills to undo a beastly curse. I like how it says bravery in there. It's like the movie's called Brave, so like he really hammers that one down.
Yep.
So this movie opened on June 22nd, 2012. It was preceded by the short film La Luna. You remember that one?
No, I watched this video illegally, so I didn't see the short before it.
Well, I saw it in theaters at least twice. Once, I think, with my family, and once with a girl.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you're-
what was the short like?
If you're listening, Madison, how's it going?
Madison's not listening to this.
She might be. You never know.
No, I'm pretty sure she probably hit on your dad in that bar that one time.
Oh my God, she did.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
to people actually listening to this, that's a long ass story, and maybe we'll slowly tell it over the course of our next 100 episodes. So keep listening. So this movie, opposed to the reportedly maybe $20 million budget of Wolfwalkers, had a budget of $185 million. Opening weekend, it made $66 million. In total, it made $538 million worldwide.
Do you know why it was so expensive?
Why?
Because each strand of hair cost $500,000.
Okay, I do love that you said that because I kind of wanted to bring that up because that was a huge like marketing point around the movie is like how much detail they put into the hair.
That's what they do with Sully, man. They see Sully and they're like, look at that fucking hairy beast. We put hours into just his hair. And you're like, okay, I guess.
That's a really cool thing Pixar does is with their movies. They've talked about in interviews how they like to take at least one thing that they don't know how they're going to do, like how they're going to animate it, and figure it out for a movie. And then that becomes like a huge talking point. So like, I think there was water in one movie that they like made look amazing and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to guess for Soul, it was probably like the abstract art, you know, that was like 3D animated and brought to life.
Yeah.
And stuff. But anyways, yeah, this movie made $538 million. Solely off the hair from Merida's head.
Yep.
That's actually not a ton for a Pixar movie. So I looked at like the movies surrounding it to see how it kind of performs. Monsters University, which came out the year after, made $743 million. And Cars 2, which was the year before, made $559 million.
I need everyone to know that Cars 2 is absolute garbage, and the fact that this movie made less than it is obscene.
So those movies are both sequels / prequels. Established IPs. So I also looked a year before those and a year after those to see. And Up, which was before Cars 2, it made $735 million. And Inside Out, which was the one after Monsters University, made $858 million. So, like, Brave really underperformed.
It's because there's a woman in it.
It was Pixar's first film starring a female protagonist.
It's because of the woman.
Now, a bunch after it came out starring female, like Inside Out, Incredibles 2. There's another one I feel like I'm forgetting, but maybe not. Oh, well, no, because Toy Story wasn't either, really. But no, there were a couple after that came out, but this was the first one that was, you know, a female protagonist. So maybe you're right. Maybe this is also...
It's for sure because she's a woman. There's no way. I don't know, actually.
Well, this was also Pixar's first Disney princess.
I feel like that should make people more excited.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so, but I don't know how much they hammered down on it. Like, I think it was more of the movie came out and was out for a while, and then everyone
was like
was
an afterthought.
Everyone was like, oh, hey, Merida's a princess too.
I think so too.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that it did underperform. I mean, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, 78 critic, 75% audience. Not great, not bad. You know, it's good for both.
Yeah, good.
Cinema score was an A, which is pretty damn good too.
Yes.
So why it performed less? I mean, it won Best Animated Feature. Like
then why
Pixar
didn't it
reviews
win?
do.
Because I just don't even know.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's kind of a mystery that maybe it's just because people don't care about a little Scottish girl. They didn't know anything about the IP. It looked too weird for them. I don't know. So let's move on to what this movie was announced as. So it was announced in 2008 and originally called The Bear and the Bow.
Boo.
Oh, you don't like that name?
No, because listen, I started watching it and I was like, her mom is a spoiler. Her mom's a fucking bear. I didn't know. So the fact that I had no idea is what made it so good, because I'm watching it thinking this is gonna be normal shit, and then her mom's a fucking bear. And I looked at my little sister and said, "Hey, what's happening in this movie? I like it, but I don't know." So no, I think Brave was perfect. Don't tell me there was a bear in it. I didn't need to know until I watched it.
Another thing which may have caused some commotion before the movie came out is Brenda Chapman was announced as the director of the film at first, and she worked on it for a bit. First woman director at Pixar. And she eventually left due to creative differences with John Lasseter, the creepy sexual assaulty dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was replaced by Mark Andrews. That's kind of why I said because they did direct it together. Yeah, Mark Andrews was a replacement, but Chapman was still credited on the film. One last little wild fun fact here is Merida was originally supposed to be voiced by Reese Witherspoon. But she eventually had to leave for other films and was replaced by Scottish actress Kelly MacDonald. Now, this is funny because later in a press tour for Sing, the Illumination movie, Witherspoon said that she had to leave the film due to failure to master her Scottish accent.
Well, that's good, because the other one was perfect, and I cannot emphasize to you how much I would not want to hear Reese Witherspoon failing at a Scottish accent. That would ruin the movie.
That is true. Now, another thing, though, is that like a lot of animated films, and even a lot of Pixar films, they do kind of sell themselves off like big names in the doing the voice acting, which like they get criticized for because they don't get solid voice actors all the time, but they get big names. Like Soul had Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. Inside Out has Amy Poehler.
Listen, until I was old enough to notice this stuff, when I was
you didn't, but parents do when they take their kids.
I mean, I know, but when I was a child, I was like, I was like, Tim Allen is Buzz Lightyear? What are you talking about? Like, I had no fucking idea. So I get it. But I mean, if your kid's like, "Hey, take me to that," they're not going to give a fuck if Tim Allen,
the kids aren't, but the kids aren't paying either.
No, but if I okay, you don't know what it's like having a child.
You don't know what it's like
if I'm pulling at your shirt saying, Dad, Brave, can you take me to see Brave? Hey, Dad, eventually you're going to shoot me or take me to Brave. And one is going to send you to jail, and one is going to save you a lot of trouble.
Okay, let's move on. So if you look at my notes here, and for those listening along at home,
you said winky face, smiley, LOL. Is that what you're referring to?
Winky face, LOL is what I put in here because Witherspoon couldn't master the Scottish accent. I want us to try to master the Scottish accent. So I picked out a phrase for us. It's the tagline for Brave. It is "Change your fate." So try to say it with a Scottish accent, please.
It's embarrassing to do it in front of you when we're not.
I know. That's why we're doing it on our podcast. Entertainment, baby.
No, you do it first so I can imitate what you do.
Okay, I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this. It's change your fate. All right. It's going to be so bad.
Is this going to be offensive?
Change your fate. Change your fate.
After hearing you do that, I'm not doing it. No, I can't. Change your fate.
Do you want to change?
No,
nope, it's bad.
Now you're going Transylvania, and I mean that's like vampire. You were just doing
getting Adam Sandler Hotel Transylvania. Okay.
Are you sure this wasn't offensive?
It's a Scottish accent. If I'm offending anyone that's Scottish out there,
Please shoot us in the head. Thank you.
Okay.
Next thing.
All right. So, okay, I don't want you to read all that. We're going to talk about the poster and trailer in a second, but first I want to talk about the video games released for this movie.
Okay.
All right. So one, Merida was a playable character in Disney Infinity 2.0 and 3.0.
No, because I didn't play.
Oh, you didn't play. You only played one. You didn't play 2 and 3.
I only played one because it had Monsters University.
Okay.
Well, now I want to play that game.
Okay. Well, they also released a Brave game on PS3, Xbox 360, PC, Wii, and DS.
I think I kind of remember that.
That's a multi-platform ass game, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that they did, which I thought you would have said this earlier, but apparently not. Temple Run Brave was a game?
Well, listen, it's because the movies are connected. And
Like,
so it happened in my head on
There was an
accident.
official Temple Run Brave game that came out on iOS, Android, and Windows Phone.
Wow.
Yeah, they were connected enough. You remembered it, but you associated it with the wrong movie.
No, I didn't remember it. It's the fact they're so similar that I came up with this great idea that's already been done because I'm a genius.
Okay. So what do you think about the trailers and poster?
Trailer was good. Can we get Disney Infinity, please?
We have to figure out what we can even get it on, because I don't think it's on PS4. Are we? No, I can try to find the Brave game on Wii.
Shoot, wait. Why did I play it on?
PS3.
Okay, well, let's get on PS5. Can it backtrack games?
I don't think so. Okay. The poster and trailer. What do you think? You thought the poster or trailer was good?
Trailer's good. Poster's good. So glad there were no bears.
There was a bear in the back of the poster. And there were multiple bears in the trailer.
Well, there's like little bears, but not like...
And a big bear.
Look at this big... Okay, but I
There's
didn't know it was
also
her
a big
fucking
bear,
mom. I didn't know it was her mom.
If I just describe the shot, I would say it was very much, look at this big bear.
Okay, well, I didn't know it was her mom.
That's true. It doesn't tell you that it's her mom.
That's what
And
made it
there's,
so
there's
good.
also the part where she's like, change your fate.
Change your fate.
That was good. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. Man, Witherspoon, get on our level, please.
Don't.
When is our Big Little Lies coming, huh? When is our Sweet Home Atlanta coming? You know what I'm saying?
It's Sweet Home Georgia. It's like a state. You
Well, I
wouldn't-
know, but Atlanta was closer to the syllable.
It's just not good.
Sweet Home
Nope, you don't need it.
Atlanta.
Nope, you didn't need to do that.
Okay. Let's move on to our ideas to market this movie. I think...
do kind of remember her on Disney. I want Disney Infinity so bad right now.
Okay, we cannot talk about Disney Infinity right now. I think that it would have been great if they just would have kept Reese Witherspoon and let her fuck up the accent. Because so many people would have been flocking to theaters and be like, man, I want to hear Reese do whatever she's doing.
No, I want right now Reese Witherspoon. I know she's doing a little TikTok things here and there or
Oh, man, she
Instagram,
is.
whatever. I want that bitch to have the film playing next to her and her do like what she would have said during that line. Like,
So you want like a Reese Witherspoon dub track over this movie.
I want to see like what you see of me right now with my microphone, and then next to it on the screen is the actual film happening, and she is in certain clips saying something in Scottish.
Reese, if you want to do this, I'll play every other character in the movie for you.
You know, it's just
No, I'll let her focus on Merida.
the rest are regular characters. It's just her saying certain lines in Scottish for Brave, for Merida.
That's a fun idea.
Thank you.
Let's see. I'm still really focusing too much on Reese Witherspoon, and we can't do that.
Well, let's talk about that hair. I mean, put it in a fucking ponytail.
So did they sell Brave wigs?
There's no way they didn't with like princessy costumes. There's no way they didn't.
God, I know. Was Snapchat around in 2012? I don't know.
Yes.
But filters probably weren't.
No.
So, I mean, this would have come out now, like an Instagram, Snapchat filter for Merida's hair.
No, that would have been amazing.
Would have been dope. Did you just search Merida wigs?
This wig is $17.
Are you gonna buy a Merida wig?
Change your fate.
Change your hair. Wow. So they are on top of the wig idea. That's very good for them.
Okay, but not really for kids, I guess. I mean, but now it's like a cool cosplay thing. Look at my cool, crazy, even though it still doesn't even compete with her hair.
So we talked about the Wolf trilogy of 2020. Now this movie could have been part of the Archers trilogy of 2012, in which you had The Hunger Games, Hawkeye from the Avengers, and Brave all come out the same year.
Hawkeye for the Avengers wasn't a movie.
Well, I mean, the Avengers and Hunger Games and Brave all came out the same year, and you obviously have Katniss. Katniss Everdeen, more like Katniss Archery.
Okay, so I can get on board with Katniss. I can get on board with Hunger Games. You can't be like, hey, remember Hawkeye and the Avengers and how he
You
shoots things
can.
for 2 minutes? But then there's also Big Green Man smashing shit, and also Other Man using technology to kill bad aliens. Like, I care about Hawkeye, but the movie's definitely not about him.
A crossover, and at this point, Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Pixar.
They didn't before.
They did at this point, though.
Oh.
In 2012, yeah. So you do a crossover where Loki's, like, pulling in aliens from a different dimension, and then he opens up another dimension, and, like, Merida pops up.
Okay, stop.
And
We could do this with any movie, Logan. Any movie. Let's get the Muppets in this bitch. That's what I want to see. I don't know why we're having this conversation. We could do anything from Disney.
Like, Disney owns the Muppets, too. Yeah, why don't they do the Muppets, a Merida story?
No. Well, okay. Yes. I actually want to see, listen to this, whole Pixar Muppets. I mean, Merida's there, played by, I don't give a fuck. Maybe the girl with the orange hair in the band, but her hair is a little crazier. I want all the Pixars in one, like, little shorts, little different things from each of the movies.
Okay.
A whole Muppets.
We've really gone on a tangent
You're
here.
making me so excited because
Okay,
you just
I know,
said
but it's never gonna
Pixar and
happen.
Muppets together.
Disney apparently hates the Muppets. They won't do enough Muppet content. We need more
They're
of it.
not doing enough. Disney? Hey, Disney? They like the Muppets in the 70s. They like the Muppets in the 80s. Just give us more fucking Muppets.
Okay.
We like Sesame Street still, Disney. Give us more Muppets.
Do you
They're
have any-
funnier
do
than
you have
Sesame
any-
Street.
I am sorry. Do you have any more marketing ideas for Brave?
No, I'm just going to talk about the Muppets. I mean, you ruined this whole podcast.
No, you brought
Can
up
you
the
please
Muppets.
call this Take 13? We're going to talk about the Muppets in this one.
I hate you so much.
I love the Muppets.
Okay. I would have done. I just would have released a live bear on some city and been like, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's just Merida's mom."
Okay. Now listen. I think that's a dumb idea. However, I'm ready to enhance it. Now you put a wig on this bear. I know the bear in the movie doesn't have a wig. You also train this bear to like kind of be like a mom and do like mom things. Then I'm for it. But if you're just releasing a wild bear that might kill people, like, that's not cool. But if you release a bear and this bear's knocking on your fucking door and is like, here's some cookies. Except he goes, mama, mama.
But
He can't talk.
Could anything get more publicity than a bear mauling someone to death?
Oh, I mean, it's bad. It's bad press. It's bad press.
You know what they say? No press is bad press. I strongly, wholeheartedly disagree with that sentiment, but a lot of people do say that. So, you never know what the Disney marketing execs would do.
I mean, I still would have seen Brave, even if someone mauled a bear over it.
Okay, our question is answered. I think we can wrap this episode up now.
Okay.
You wanted to spend a lot of minutes on Muppet talk. No, we're getting close to our limit, and we need to wrap it up.
Okay.
Do you have another quick idea you'd like to throw out?
Nope.
All right.
I want to end this now because I just keep thinking about the Muppets.
Okay. We're going to end this so Alyssa can go watch a lot of Muppet content. All of the Muppet shows, the ABC Muppet Show, it's all on Disney Plus.
Right now we're watching the OC. Logan, imagine if the OC was if it was OC but the Muppets.
Okay, that's amazing. All right, if you like this episode, find us on Twitter and Instagram at MarketersCut. Find the podcast anywhere you can find podcasts or on YouTube. Learn more at our newly designed website, marketerscut.com. I want to thank Jacob Wall for his art. Find more of his work on Instagram at JacobArtWall. And I just want to say, if you enjoy this show, as in if you are one of our friends or family members listening to the show, because that's it, tell another person that doesn't know us about the show. That helps us grow it. That helps spread the word. I think we have a fun time here, so let's get more people in on the party.
Yeah, Logan's been posting like on different platforms, and there's some random people who listen to it, and they're like, "Wow, this is really fun," or like the chemistry that you and your fiance have are like really great. So
I mean, I disagree. I think our chemistry is awful, but like if they like it, it gives
that's
the
what I'm
people what
saying.
they
Is
want.
other random people seem to like it. So like, but how do we tell other random people? It's from you guys.
Yeah. So we're gonna end this episode now. We're really running over time, so hurry up and do your sound.
Okay. This is me. I am going to start doing Muppets impressions.
Okay.
Today I'm only doing Kermit.
Okay.
Hi ho